Welcome to Nishat Physics class, CBSE class 10th, chapter Current Electricity and topic Charge Carrier and Electric Current, sequence 1. It is my first video for class 10th. My motive and my intention to educate, train students with concept of the topic, explanation of the topic, and to develop numerical ability in the students so that they are capable to crack various competitive exams coming in their life. Now, according to this topic, first I am going to discuss charge carriers. Charge carriers. You know that electric current is constituted by many charged particles, and those charged particles are known as current carrier. Current can pass through a conductor, also from some liquids, and also from gas at the low pressure and high voltage. So we have different type of charge carrier. First I am going to define charged carrier. Charge carriers. Charge carriers that charge particles capable to constitute electric current is known as charge carriers. Charge carriers. Now those charge carriers are electrons, positive ions, and negative ions. Electrons, positive ions and negative ions are charge carriers in various states of matter, solid, liquid and gas. Now, here we are going to analyze the charge carriers in solid, charge carriers in liquid and charge carriers in gases. Solids. We can divide solids in two categories according to electrical conductivity. Number 1, conductor. Conductor allows to pass electrical current. In conductor, free electrons are current carrier. In conductor, free electrons are current carrier. They are free to move. For example, silver, aluminum, and copper, etc., and that is metals. Second is here insulator. Insulator have not free electrons. Have not free electrons. Thus, they are not capable to conduct electricity. So, insulator are not capable to give current or conduct current electricity. For example, glass, rubber, and plastics. Most of plastics. So what we see here in solids, we have two categories, conductor and insulator. Conductors have free electrons and that allow to conduct electricity, and electrons carrier are electrons. But here in the insulator they have no free electrons, so they are not capable to conduct electricity, and here no free electrons are found. Thus, for example, glass, rubber and plastics. Now liquids. Here liquids are divided into two categories. Number one, electrolyte. And non-electrolyte. If a liquid conducts electricity, then that liquid is known as electrolyte. If a liquid conducts electricity, then that liquid is electrolyte. Then, in electrolyte, current carriers are positive ions, and negative ions. For example, copper sulfate, solution of NaCl, sodium chloride, in water. Generally, in electrolyte, most of inorganic compound comes. Inorganic compounds. Inorganic compounds come. Non-electrolyte, generally organic compounds. They can't conduct electricity, so known as non-electrolyte. Organic compound. For example, vegetable oils and also alcohol in pure form. So now this is about the liquid. Now come to the gases. In ordinary condition, gases are incapable to conduct electricity. They have no free electrons, our positive ions. But at low pressure, low pressure, low pressure. There must be some condition, and very high voltage, very high voltage. Gases are capable to conduct electricity, and current carriers are here positive ions and electrons. We learn here that solid how current is passed, how in liquids and how in gases. Mercury is an exception. Mercury, you know that. Mercury is an exception, although mercury is liquid. But current carrier carriers are electron. It is exception. It just behaves like solid. At this level, we study electric current through a conductor. Electric current through a conductor. Electric current through a conductor. It is very clear. We discuss about flow of electrons. Here, because we metal conductor, we discuss about flow of electrons. Now, how can you define electric current? What is the definition of electric current? Electric current. Rate of flow of electrons. Especially I am discussing about the conductor, so I am not writing any charged particle, but I am writing only electron. Rate of flow of electrons or flow of electrons per second. Flow of electrons per second. Rate, when you use the term rate, then divide by time. So define rate of flow of electrons or flow of electrons per second. If I denotes electric current and Q total charges flow in time t, then we may write I is equal to Q by T, electrons charge, total electron charge, and divided by total time equal to electric current. Now, what should be unit of electric current? In which quantity it is measured? In its SI unit. Q for coulomb. SI unit of the charge is coulomb, and time SI unit second. This coulomb per second is nothing but ampere. Coulomb divided by second is ampere. So we can tell SI unit of electric current is ampere. It is a scalar quantity. A scalar quantity. When you think about electric current, it may be very high or may be very low. Electric current in the lightning in the millions. Electric current in day-to-day life 2 ampere, 4 ampere, 5 ampere. Electric current in the electronic devices, mobile, and that is the electronic watch, in the micro ampere and milliampere. So we must know that concept of milliampere, microampere and nanoampere. Here 10 to the power minus 3 A for ampere equal to 1 MA, 1 milliampere. 1 milliampere equal to 10 to the power minus 3. It is very clear, milli is a number and that is 10 to the power minus 3. 10 to the power minus 6 ampere, 1, and this symbol is micro ampere. 10 to the power minus 9 ampere, and this is 1, a small n, and nano ampere. 10 to the power minus 12 ampere, and that is 1, a small p, picoampere. So here I am writing milli, micro, nano and pico. Milli, micro, nano, pico is a number. You can also attach with the time. Then will become milli time, micro time, nano time. Milliampere, microampere, nano ampere, nanosecond in the time. So this milli, micro, nano, pico are numbers. If you add with the time, it becomes millisecond, microsecond, nanosecond and picosecond. If you add with the current, milliampere, microampere, nanoampere, picoampere. Now big number 10 to the power 3, that is kilo. 10 to the power 3 ampere, 1 kilo ampere. 10 to the power 6 ampere, 1 mega, capital A, mega ampere. 10 to the power 9 ampere, 1 giga ampere. So they are very, this is possible on the earth in the many devices, but this is too much current. You not use any device on the earth. It happens in the generally in the lightning 1 mega ampere current and 1 giga ampere current, and this all in the here electronic devices. So it's about the electric current. Electric current is measured by a device. Electric current is measured by a device known as ampere, or also known as ampere meter, because it is on the name of the scientist Ampere. Electric current is measured by a device, ampere or ampere meter. Okay. And for the smallest current, milliampere meter. For smallest current, ampere meter or milliampere meter. You may write microampere meter. microampere meter. Now I am going to categorize electric current. Types of electric current. Types of electric current. Types of electric current. Just to see that in day-to-day life, using mobile and many type of electrical and electronic devices, and that runs by electric cell or battery, then that current is known as a steady current, or direct current. In brief, that is the DC. So many of our devices, laptop, mobile, many things in the house, we can use direct current. Where you are using chemical cell or battery, it means that is the steady current or direct current. But in the house supply, for the AC, washing machine, air fryer, here that alternating current is used. Is alternating current. Alternating current. And in short known as AC, alternating current. We will discuss separately a steady current, that is direct current, and alternating current. So first I am going to discuss a steady current, that is direct current. Here two things. For direct current, magnitude of current remains constant throughout time. First thing in the direct current is that magnitude of current remains constant throughout time. Try to understand by a graph here. Here on the x-axis time, and suppose that, and here on the y-axis current. Here I for the time I, and for time that is small t. Suppose that this magnitude is 5 ampere. 5 ampere. I think that you students are very well aware about this graph. This graph is parallel to the time axis. It means physical quantity on the y-axis is constant. In DC, if 5 ampere current is passing, then this magnitude never fall down, it remain constant. Whatever time, how much long it go, that is the 5 ampere will remain constant. Now, second thing this is the first, and second thing for DC direct current here, that current is unidirectional. current is unidirectional. Now, suppose that here a bulb, here this is the bulb, and here one cell, and this is cell. Current flows from the positive to the towards the positive to the negative terminal. Then in DC, in direct current flows from the positive to negative throughout the journey and throughout the time. The two things, my dear. One, that magnitude of the current is constant, and second, it is unidirectional, positive to negative. Okay, that is a cyclic, from like this, it is moving like this, current, cyclic. So it is about the steady current and direct current. Now I am going to discuss alternating current. AC, alternating current. Number one, magnitude of current, magnitude of current is varies sinusoidally with time. Sinusoidally with time means according to sine function. We know that if you take graph of the here theta and here sine theta, then this is the graph of theta and sine theta, and that is the maximum value of sine theta is +1 and the minimum is the -1. Then what you see that theta increases, but it values between +1 and -1. It changes periodically. At this level, in the same way, if you take the graph of the alternating current, this is the I and this is the time, then this is the graph. It means here current is 0, current is increasing, become maximum, then become 0 and then negative cycle. Then magnitude of the current constantly change, and that is the 0 to maximum, maximum to 0 and then negative cycle. Okay. Now second, direction of current is reversed by each cycle. Reversed by half cycle. Here positive half and negative half. Now suppose that here bulb, this is the bulb, and here AC. AC is shown like this symbol. This is the AC source. AC source. Then for the half time, current moves like this. Half time. And the rest of the half time, current direction become reverse. For positive, half this is, and for negative, this is. This is the main reason that direction of AC is not shown in the circuit, but AC is not in your course, in your syllabus only DC, but for the understanding, because there are many ambitious students, they want to do very good in the physics and prepare for the competitive examination, so I introduce these things. You can understand. Now I am stopping here, and the second video I will post rest of the things about the what is the conventional current, voltage, potential difference in Ohm's law. Thank you very much.